Hello friends! So a couple of weeks ago, I took a really in-depth quiz to tell me which Hogwarts house I'm supposed to be in. Now I've always assumed I was supposed to be in Ravenclaw, mainly because intelligence is one of the most valued traits in that house, and intelligence is one of the most valued traits in my life. Plus, let's face it, I was basically the Muggle version of Luna Lovegood all throughout high school. So the question of which house I was supposed to be in seemed kind of like a no-brainer. Which is exactly the kind of thing that Ravenclaws like to avoid, but whatever. And as it turns out, I was right. Well, kind of. Apparently, I am almost right exactly in the middle of Ravenclaw and Slytherin, so close that how I answer a question on any given day might be enough to make me switch houses. And at first I was reeling a little bit because, as we all know, Slytherin is the horrible house. I mean, it is where all the bad guys come from. But then as I thought about it a little more, I realized that Slytherin is not inherently bad. The main issue is that they're very ambitious, and sometimes the easiest way to get to the top is to bend a few rules. But it doesn't mean that the rules have to be broken, and it doesn't mean there's even any interest in breaking some of the more important rules. And besides, the only reason that we think Slytherin is any bad is because we're seeing it from the point of view of someone who has such pride in their house that we hardly even hear about any of the other houses. Really, the only reason we hear about Slytherins is because this one particular person has a grudge against a couple of particular Slytherins. So really, is that a fair way to judge? I don't think that's a fair way to judge. Although, to be fair, there are a lot of bad eggs that come from Slytherin. But with ambition being one of your major traits, you kind of have to expect that. But the realization that Slytherins are not inherently bad did help me cement my relationship to my new house, Slytherclaw. So, as I found out when I was researching this life-changing revelation, apparently mixing houses has become kind of a trend in the last few years. Now let's face it, there is absolutely no need to mix houses. This isn't the world of Divergent, and as all of our main characters have shown us, there is absolutely nothing at Hogwarts that says you can't have characteristics from the other houses. Gryffindors are not the only ones who are brave, Ravenclaws are not the only ones who are smart, Hufflepuffs are not the only ones who are loyal, and Slytherins are not the only ones who are ambitious. Like pretty much everyone on Earth, people at Hogwarts are a mixture of multiple characteristics. It's just that you're being sorted into the house that best matches your characteristics at that point in time. Which really, one has to assume that your characteristics are going to change a little bit from the time you're 11 to the time you're 18. But who am I to argue with the sorting hat? So why do we mix up the houses when we're talking about ourselves? Well, I have absolutely nothing to back this up, so this is just going to be me bullshitting again. But I think it has to do with the fact that representation is different in real life. At Hogwarts, the most your house represents is who you're going to be hanging around with most of the time. In real life though, there's no actual reason for us to be sorted into houses other than to help explain ourselves. And when we're explaining ourselves, we don't want to give ourselves the short end of the stick. We want to say, yes, I do value intelligence, but I'm also ambitious, and that's important to remember about me as well. We want to classify ourselves with everything that we are, not just our most prominent characteristic. And since Hogwarts houses have kind of become an interesting way of classifying people, it's a way of giving more information about ourselves than we would otherwise. So, even though we probably wouldn't fit in with the Hogwarts crew, let's go ahead and feel proud about our mixed houses. Especially if you're also a Slytherclaw, because we will win, and we know you know that. Anyway, I'm off to go make some Slytherclaw Pride posters, just because. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!